So now we want to look at the 7th house ruler. So the 7th lord in any chart is really the one that shows our individual karma around relationships based on our ascendant. It's very important. Venus is the karaka of relationships, which shows the shared karma we have, the shared experience that everyone has in a relationship, which means we all want the same things in relationships. This is how we look at the karaka, the indicator. We all are trying to do the same thing, and that same thing we're trying to do comes from Venus. Just like in anything, the shared thing, like with Jupiter, its children, we're trying to do the Jupiter thing when we're raising children. Both parents and every single human being. Every single human being is trying to do the Venus thing in relationship. It's the common karma we have. But the individual, we'll have a 7th house ruler, which shows that individual style, and it's not from the moon, it's from the ascendant. So if it's Capricorn, your 7th house ruler is the moon. If it's Leo, your 7th house ruler is Saturn. So you want to see the nature of the 7th house lord and what influences it. First of all, the nature of it, which if you really understand astrology well, you'll already understand that's part of the person. Like every Gemini person has Jupiter as the 7th house ruler. So they're going to be blessed with partners, and they'll have partners that are philosophical. And every Leo person has Saturn ruling the 7th house. It also rules the 6th house. So they have this kind of relationship with partners. Again, this is really important, more so than or as much as the karaka. That's also really important. Psst, psst, a kitty is visiting me. And so you want to understand the nature of each ascendant as it relates to the 7th house as well, or as it relates to relationships, is that quality of the 7th house ruler and the other house that planet rules. Like for Gemini, the 7th lord also rules the 10th house. So it means they tend to work with partners. They tend to see partners as someone where their duties and responsibilities are aligned, and they even often have partners that take care of them, that are responsible for them. This is Gemini, because Gemini can tend to be not so responsible for themselves, as an example. So you want to always look at the other house the planet rules as well as being a part of the equation in any, whatever the ascendant is. 7th lord is very important. So you want to see not just what the planet is, but the other house it rules, and obviously whatever influences it and affects it. So know that every Venus-ruled person, that's a Taurus or a Libra, is going to have Mars as the 7th lord. So their partners are going to be more aggressive, and they're going to look for partners that are aggressive. This is the nature of Taurus and Libra, because Mars is the 7th lord. They're going to look. Libra looks to get their values from the partner, because Mars also rules the 2nd house. And Taurus looks for their partner to transform them, because Mars also rules the 12th house from Taurus. So again, this is a very deep structure. And when you want to understand the individual nature of each person in a relationship, you have to understand that 7th house ruler, what the planet is, the nature of the planet, the other house it rules, so you can really get into their kind of psychology around relationships in general. Then, of course, you want to use all the other things that I said. You want to see the house it goes into. You want to see the house, or, you want to see other planets that affect it through aspect or through conjunction. You got Saturn join the 7th lord, then you're going to add that to it. Like if you have let's say that you have a Libra person and Mars is joined, let's say Mars is joined Jupiter, okay? Then that, getting the values from the partner is also now going to be joined Jupiter, which means that the values will be high. The person might be a teacher because it's joined the 7th lord. They'll be attracted to that. Again, they'll look for the partner to have those qualities. See, with Venus, it was more, this is their style of compromise. This is the thing that their sort of aesthetic, which is what Venus is, what we appreciate, what we find beautiful. But the partner, the 7th house lord, is really kind of a different sort of hook that really brings that life lesson into us that way. And you want to do things like analyze the relationship between Venus and the karaka. This is important. I just use Gemini. Virgo is another example where Jupiter is the 7th house ruler, but Jupiter has an uncomfortable relationship. Jupiter as the 7th lord with Venus, the Karaka. So this can show some tension in Mercury ruled people because the Karaka Venus has an uncomfortable relationship with Jupiter, the 7th lord. You want to look at all these things. Aquarius, the Sun is the 7th lord. Venus has an uncomfortable relationship with the 7th lord. So just in general, there can be a sort of tension, and you want to know why. You want to know why the Sun has a little bit of a problem with Venus, like why they're different energies. So again, you want to be able to analyze the 7th lord, and maybe for a woman you'd like to see the 7th lord in a masculine sign, because this is the partner coming in. This isn't your relationship style, this is the partner coming in. So maybe you would see, for a woman, you'd like to see the 7th lord in a masculine sign. For a man, you'd like to see the 7th lord in a feminine sign, because he's looking for the partner to be feminine, as an example. So this is a good example where you might flip that. I'd like to see Venus, which is the Karaka, in the same gender, because it's where we're expressing the thing, but the partner comes in from a place of vulnerability often. And so it's nice if the 7th lord, in my experience, looks more like the gender of what the partner is going to look like, because again, every Leo is going to have a kind of Aquarian relationship with their partner. Tricky stuff here once we get into the 7th lord and we start looking at the lordships. Again, this is also deep stuff, because you start to see why your partners look the way they look. Start compounding these things and you start to get a pretty clear picture. You start seeing some problem with one of them along the way, or some ease with the others, and the combination, which is what we have. We have some things that, the moon is nice, Venus is there in the 8th house, the 7th lord is nice, it's in its own sign, but it's with K2, what is that? We see all of these kind of things, kind of mixing it up. And if you analyze and you look at these different components and you start to tease them out, you'll see, that's why their partners are teachers, but they're critical of them, and they have these kind of hidden weird things with their partners, but in general they feel really good about it, or something. You'll see the ratio of effects that come from looking at these things. So, Moon, Venus, 7th lord, very important as a good way to start. And we also have the 7th house and then an Navamsha chart also that we'll talk about.